Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Choctaw Field, where the Lady Choctaws will again, as they did last night, be back out here on the field. They'll be taking on Hardin County. Hardin County is a team that has beat Dyer County twice this season. Now, let me give you a little background on this. Hardin County was the 4th seed coming into the district, and they have plowed their way through back into the regional championship game, and has done an excellent job of took out top-seeded Brighton in the district, and then made their way through. They beat Dyer County on the Saturday game down in Munford, and then, of course, Dyer County, to win here, to get back here, had to beat Hardin County twice in the district championship. So that's where we are tonight. Now, the winner will stay home, or will go home, rather, and the loser, it will have to go on the road and play the winner of Region 8, which is down in Memphis. We're not sure who that's going to be. We're not sure that they'll even play tonight. They may be playing tomorrow night, but nonetheless, we're set up for softball tonight. Dyer County's going to put Zoe Springer on the hill. She pitched last time against Hardin County through, I believe it was a one-hitter. She actually gave up 4 hits, I should say, and hit one pitcher, hit by a pitch one time. And I'm looking for strikeouts. She struck out 9 in that game. So she is going to be on the mound, and we're about ready to get this game underway. And Zoe's first pitch is strike one called to Jalen Cherry. Jalen Cherry hit a home run in the game against Dyer County in the district. She led off the game with a home run. In the game Dyer County lost, that is strike 2 called by Zoe Springer, so she gets out ahead of the batter quickly. Springer gets the pitch from Coach O and delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That is the first strikeout for Zoe Springer and the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Bailey Phillips, number 23. Bailey is the first baseman for the Lady Tigers. Springer's pitch is hit back up the middle. It's going to go all the way almost to the fence, and on with a single is Bailey Phillips. So with one out, Hardin County goes on the attack pretty quick with a base runner, and that's going to bring up number 7, Faith Welch. Faith is the left fielder for the Lady Tigers. Springer delivers. It is swung on and missed, and it gets by Sipes, and that's going to allow the runner to move to second base. So now Bailey Phillips is at second with one out. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Springer. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Strike 3 called. That is the second strikeout for Zoe, and that is the second out, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Callie Bonet. She's the catcher for the Lady Tigers. Callie Bonet in the last game was a strikeout victim twice to Zoe Springer and once to Peyton Reasons. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Looks like Zoe's just throwing it by him. Coming with the heat. That one's going to be a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'd like to thank David Bach for helping us out. He does all the engineering, keeps the computer going, all the graphics and camera angles and so forth. Keeps all the stats and keeps me straight. That one's fouled off to the right side, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Bonet. And there's a delivery. It's a little bit low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Starting a little late tonight. We did the game tonight, avoiding the rain from tomorrow night, and ended up with an hour-and-a-half rain delay here tonight. But it looks like we're going to get the game in to the west. Nothing but blue skies. Strike 3 called, and she strikes out the side. That is the 3rd strikeout for Zoe Springer, and no runs on 1 hit and 1 left. And after a half inning of play, there is no score here at the Choctaw softball field. Dyer County is going to put Zoe Springer, Athena Bach, and Reagan Coleman to the plate. And should any of those young ladies get on, Madison Garner is batting cleanup tonight for the Lady Choctaws. Pitching tonight will be Madeline Payne. He tried to pitch both games, I believe, the other night against Dyer County. It was a 1-0 win in the first game that Zoe Springer pitched, and then Peyton Reasons pitched the second game last Friday night, and it was last Tuesday night, a week ago tonight. And Dyer County won that one, I think, 6-3, but she got a little tired there in the 5th inning, and Dyer County touched her up for, I think, 4 in the 5th, I believe it was. Zoe Springer has been to the plate in 6 games so far. She's had 22 at-bats. She's 11 of 22. Her average, of course, 500. Her on-base percentage is 500, and slugging percentage, 727. She's 7 singles, 3 doubles, and 1 triple. She's got 3 RBIs, and she has 2 base on balls. So Zoe Springer will stand in. Hear the Dyer County faithful in the background there. One thing I've seen this season is these young ladies really love each other as a team. And here's the first pitch to Springer. It's going to be called strike 1. Zoe Springer, just a freshman. There's the second one. It's in the dirt. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's the 1-1 pitch. Ball outside. Ball 2. There's the 2-1 delivery, way high, ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Zoe Springer. And she bunts it down third base side, picked up by Cherry, throw over, not in time. And Zoe Springer gets a bunch single. So Zoe Springer is on. That's going to bring up Athena Bach. Athena Bach has 18 at bats. She is 9 of 18 for 500 as well. All 9 of her hits have been singles. She's got 4 RBIs. She scored 5 runs and received 3 base on balls thus far in the tournament, or in postseason play, I should say. That was ball 1 high. This is taking all of the district and the 1 region game up to tonight. There's the 1-0. It's high. Zoe Springer steals second base easily as the throw down was high, so she's at second base on the aggressive running by the Lady Choctaws, and Athena is out in front of the pitcher. 2 balls and no strikes. Second base and third base playing in, expecting the bunt now. And here comes Payne's delivery. Strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike, and Zoe just walks down to third. She didn't even draw a throw. So now I would have to think Athena will swing away here. Just get it out of the infield, and that'll score Zoe Springer. They're still playing her in. There's the pitch. It is swung hard but fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Athena Bach. Second base and third base all playing in. They are, infield is in for hopefully a play at the plate is what they're looking for. And Athena would like to just hit it over their heads. Just get it out into the outfield. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at third. That one's outside. Ball 3-2. Bach has drawn 3 walks here in postseason play. There's the full count pitch, slap to the left field side, or left third base side is out of play and foul. So Madeline Payne will step in again. She calls for a new baseball or softball, sorry. Wrong sport. And Bach will step back in. Here's the payoff pitch. It's fouled back. So she'll get another hack at it. Our county aggressive with the bats and aggressive on the base path so far tonight. Zoe Springer at third, Athena Bach, the second batter. She's at the plate, nobody out. And there's a pitch. It is slapped to third, throw on over to first in time, and Zoe scores. And they tried for the double play as Jalen Cherry got the ball over to first base quickly, but they couldn't get it back to the plate in time, and heads up running by Zoe Springer gives Dyer County a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the first with 1 out. It's 7:45. I'm thinking it's the end of the game, and it's just the beginning. And that one is slapped to second base, and it is caught for the second out as Reagan Coleman flies out. Going to bring up Madison Garner. They call her Mad Dog. I don't know if that's because of her or because of Greg, but and the ball or strike on the outside corner. Garner steps back in. Awaits from the delivery from Payne and swung on and missed a little bit high. She drew her in for that one. Garner's waiting. There's a delivery. It is hit hard to left field. Going back. It is off it is gone. And a home run by Madison Garner. Has not hit one since Munford. She hit one that was in a regular season game, but so that is the second run for Dyer County, and that's going to bring up the catcher Haley Sipes. As everybody gives Garner a high five and showing their pleasure with what has just happened. She hit that one hard to left. It looked like it was going to hit at the base of the fence, but man, it just got out of here in a hurry. Shucks, need the instant replay on that one. So Haley Sipes going to step in. Haley's batting .263 here in postseason. Swung on and missed, strike one. She's 5 of 19. 4 of her 5 were singles and 1 triple. She's got 3 RBIs and she's received 1 base on balls here in postseason play. There's the 0-1 foul back, 0-2. Dyer County leads it 2-0. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. That is the first strikeout for Madeline Payne. And that'll be the third out for Dyer County. So they got 2 runs on 2 hits. And we had nobody left as Dyer County opens a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. And that's going to bring up Madeline Payne, the pitcher, followed by Melody Morris and Hallie Patton will be the batters, and if any of those get on, the number 8 batter Emily Geralds will get an opportunity. Dyer County's got a 2-run lead as coming to the plate will be Madeline Payne. Springer struck out 3 batters in the first, gave up 1 single to Bailey Phillips. It stranded her at second base. She moved over to second base on a ball that got by Haley Sipes. And ball outside, ball 1 to Payne. One ball, no strikes. That one is hit to short, scooped up by Laura Beth Phoenix, throw on to first, and 1 out. It's going to bring up Melody Morris. Morris, the Lady Tigers shortstop. First pitch is swung on and missed. No balls, one strike. There's the 0-1 delivery. Foul tipped into the glove of Sipes, and that's going to be strike two. Zoe, like Peyton Reasons last night, getting out ahead of hitters early. And that one is foul down the first base line. Peyton Reasons struck out Bartlett batters 14 times last night. Got all of the Dyer County baseball players out in center field cheering on their team as Melody Morris goes down on strikes. And that is the fourth strikeout for Zoe Springer. So 2 outs, nobody on. That brings up Hallie Patton. Patton, swing and a miss, strike one. And that one is fouled out of play on the first base side. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that one fouled out of play, first base side. Be a souvenir for a Hardin County fan. And there's a delivery that's blistered foul down the third base side. No balls, 2 strikes. Springer gets her pitch and delivers. That's fouled straight back. Count holds at 0-2. Patton's hanging in there, fouling them off. There's 2 outs, nobody on. A bit of a rain delay tonight, but looks like we're going to get this one in. There's the 0-2 delivery. Ball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one swung on and missed for the 5th strikeout by Zoe Springer and the 3rd out. So no runs, no hits, nobody left. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 2nd inning for the Lady Tigers, and that's going to bring the Choctaws to the plate. Laura Beth Enix, who made the great play on Madeline Payne, will be leading off, followed by the center fielder Peyton Reasons, and Brooklyn King will be coming up, and if any of those get aboard, Emily Finley will get an opportunity. Dyer County leads it 2-0 here tonight. They jumped on Madeline Payne early with a bunt single by Zoe Springer, and she stole second, stole third, and then scored on a sacrifice by Athena Bach, and then Madison Garner with a home run. Gave Dyer County the 2nd run. of the first inning. I'd like to thank you for watching us on YouTube tonight. Had quite a few viewers. I checked earlier. Thank you so much. This, of course, is being brought to you by your friends at Burke's Beverage and Broadcasting, and also your friends at West Tennessee Communications. Larbeth Phoenix will step in for Dyer County. Larbeth Phoenix is 5 of 19 in postseason. All 5 of her hits have been singles. She's batting .263 in the district and region. Her on-base percentage is also .263. She has not walked. And first pitch is fouled back, strike one.
Let's go, babe, right here, so you can.
Madeline Payne giving up 2 runs, both of them earned. There's the pitch. That one is fouled straight back. It's a good thing I did. She hit it where my van was used to being. And that one is fouled on the first base side. Slicing out of play. And that one's ball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one's fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Enix. Payne delivers. That one is fouled over by the lights. That's going to be out of play on the right side. Just tells how good this district is, as the tops, or the 2nd seed and the 4th seed are playing right here. Choctaws were the 2nd seed. There's a delivery, and ooh, that was close. It's going to be a ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But Hardin County, the 4th seed in our district, and not only blew through the district and came out on the loser's side as ball 3 is called by the umpire. These 2 teams are now in the regional finals to see. Both of these teams will go to sub-state. One will be at home and the other will be on the road. And that one is fouled out of play. Larbeth Phoenix working her hard to get the pitch she wants. She's making her throw a bunch of pitches. And Madeline Payne is gladly obliging. Young lady's got a strong arm. And that one's high, ball 4. Enix will take her base, and that'll be the first walk in postseason for Larbeth Enix. It's going to bring up Peyton Reasons, the first game winner last night on the mound. Larbeth Enix has 1 RBI, and she has not scored a run in postseason play. And attempt at a bunt by reasons is fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. There's the 0-1. She offers that a bunt again, fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes. Grass still a little bit wet here around the batter's box and such, so they're trying to keep a dry softball out there. Been changing balls a lot. And swung on and missed. Strike 3. It's going to be the first out of the 2nd inning. And that's going to be the 2nd strikeout for Madeline Payne, and that's going to bring up number 10, Brooklyn King, the left fielder. And strike 1 called, just at the knees. Laura Phoenix at first. Brooklyn King is batting, takes the ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed. Strike 2. One on, 1 out. And there it is, ball low, evens the count at 2-2. King steps in and swung on and missed. Strike 3. That is the 3rd strikeout for Madeline Payne. It's going to bring up Emily Finley. She bunt singled her last time up in the game last night in a big 5-run 5th inning for Dyer County. And strike 1 called. Emily Finley scored 2 runs and she's walked twice. And that one slapped foul down the third base side. It's going to stay in the park, but Jalen Cherry nor Faith Welch could get there, so she'll step back in with an 0-2 count. There's the 0-2 delivery, and that one is fouled back. There's the 0-2 delivery. That's fouled back. We don't do a pitch count, but I know that Payne has thrown a lot of pitches here in the first 2 innings to Dyer County hitters. This is the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in 2 innings. And ball outside and heading towards second, and making the steal is Laura Beth Enix. Ball goes out into center field, but she does not attempt to go to third. She's going to stay right there. And it's going to move the first base umpire back to behind second. As now with 2 outs, Enix at second. Emily Finley at the plate. And that one is slapped foul. And there it is. This one is hit by Cherry, and she cannot find it. All runners are safe. And that is going to be a bunt single, as Jalen Cherry could not find the handle. And that's going to send Laura Beth Enix to third. So now runners on the corners. We're back at the top of the lineup. Zoe Springer bunted and scored in the last inning. She didn't score on the bunt. She bunted to first. You get that, right? Okay. That one is swung on, strike one, and Emily Finley takes second base. Swung on and missed, I should say. So now both runners in scoring position for Zoe Springer with 2 outs. I have to think she'll swing away here. Maybe not. She bunts well. And, offered at a bunt, strike 2. Kind of a drag bunter. That's what we used to call it, was a drag bunt, where you take a few steps out in front. You stay in the batter's box, but you actually bunt the ball while you're already moving toward first. That was going to be outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Those are kind of hard to do, because if you step out of the batter's box and offer at it, you are out. And that one is slapped to second base. Picked up, throw on to first in time, and that'll end the inning. So Dyer County sends 5 young ladies to the plate, but no runs on a walk and a hit, and 2 left as we go into the top of the third. Dyer County still leads it 2-0. It's going to bring up Emily Geralds, Kaylee Channel, and Sarah McGee. That'll be Channel will be the last batter, then back to Jalen Cherry. Number 1, Emily Geralds is going to step into the batter's box for the Lady Tigers. She'll try to get her team going here in the top half of the third. And there's a delivery. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 to Gerald's fouled back to the right field side, out of play. That one swung on and missed. Strike 1. Strike 2, rather. Thank you, David. And that one swung on and missed. That is strike 3, and that is the 6th strikeout for Zoe Springer. And the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Kaylee Channel. Kaylee Channel, the 9th batter to face Springer. First pitch is ball low and outside, ball 1. And that one is fouled over toward Coach O. Goodness gracious, popped her out of the chair. Did you see that? Man, oh man. Well, and we're getting, there she is. She's back in the chair, back in the corner behind Beth Ann Pope. Got to pay attention over there, boy. Whew, swung on and missed. That is strike 2. A little bit of fog settling in tonight after this rain shower that we weren't supposed to get. There's the 1-2 pitch, ball high, 2-2. Here's Springer's 2-2 delivery, and that one is fouled right over our heads. The view that you see right now is the same view that we see from where we're our vantage point. And that one swung on and missed. Strike 3. That is the 7th strikeout for Zoe Springer, and it's going to bring us back to the top of the order. Jalen Cherry, she was the first strikeout victim. She struck out in the top of the first to lead it off. Jalen Cherry hit a home run against Dyer County. That was back in the game a week ago Saturday. This one is sliced foul to the right field side. Jalen Cherry, one of the exceptional athletes for the Lady Tigers basketball team. For those of you who have seen them, that one is hit back up the middle. It's going to get into center field. Reasons scoops it up, throws it back into the cutoff person, and that's going to be the first base runner since the first inning for the Lady Tigers. So with 2 outs, Jalen Cherry gets a single, and it's going to bring up Bailey Phillips. She singled in the first inning. Two outs, 1 on. Strike one called to Bailey Phillips. There's a delivery. That one is hit back to Zoe Springer at the mound. Throw on to first, and that'll retire the side. One hit, no runs on one hit, and one left. And in the middle of the third, Dyer County still leads it 2-0. Next hitters for Dyer County will be Athena Bach, Reagan Coleman, and Madison Garner. For the Lady Choctaws, Athena Bach sacrificed to score Zoe Springer in the first. Reagan Coleman flied to second base. And it was Madison Garner with the long ball. She hit the first home run for the postseason for the Lady Choctaws. Athena Bach will step in to lead off the bottom of the third for the Lady Choctaws. Beth Ann Pope coaching at first, and Rob Phillips, the third base coach, on Coach O's staff here tonight. And all season long, what a great job these guys have done. There's Payne's first delivery inside, ball one. Third and second are playing Bach in. And this one's strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a delivery. It is foul down the third base side. Going to be called foul by the home plate umpire. One ball, 2 strikes to the batter Bach. There's the delivery. It is fouled straight back. Count holds at 1-2. Big crowd on hand tonight. Big crowd. Hardin County brought a lot of fans here tonight as well. You can tell by the noise, and all the baseball players out in center field to support the team, and there's strike 3 called on Athena Bach. That is the 4th strikeout for Madison Payne. And the first out of the inning for Dyer County. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Reagan Coleman. That one's high and inside. 1 ball. 2 balls, no strikes, rather. Felt the breeze on that one. Well, you can't hardly see it on camera, but all of the baseball players out there in center field having a big time. Standing in the bed of the truck, and they're going to call that a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Dyer County baseball team, an excellent, excellent season this year. Just came up a little bit short last night. That one's fouled back for strike 2, and that's going to send the count full to Reagan Coleman. There's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout and the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to bring Madison Garner up. She homered her first time up to left field. Got out of here in a hurry. Everybody's telling her ground ball. Must have been what they told her last time when it went out. Garner steps in. Ball low. And there's a ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch, ball high. 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Garner. Strike 1. The 3-1 delivery from Payne. That is popped up right side, and will they get over there? They do not. Right fielder had an opportunity at it, just couldn't quite get there, so new life for Madison Garner with a full count.
Hey, come on, Madison.
Here's the payoff pitch to Garner. Inside, ball 4. Okay. Nothing. I just pulled that down. It's going to bring up Haley Sipes. She struck out in the first inning to end the inning. Ball high. 1 ball, no strikes to Sipes. And that one's fouled back, 1-1. Sipes batting .263 here in postseason play. And that one is popped up to the left side, and third baseman makes the catch. And that's going to end the inning. No runs on no hits, and one left on a walk by Madison Garner as we go to the top of the fourth. Dyer County still leads it by a score of 2-0. It's going to bring Faith Welch, Callie Bonet, and Madeline Payne to the plate. And if any of those get on, Melody Morris will get an opportunity here in the fourth. Springer's done a good job so far. She has struck out 7. She's only given up 2 hits, one to Bailey Phillips and one to Jalen Cherry. Faith Welch, the Tiger left fielder, will be stepping in. Welch will step in to face Springer here in the top of the fourth. First pitch, ball outside, ball 1. There's the 0-1, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Strike 2, rather. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. I knew that. I was testing you. Yeah. There's the 1-1 delivery. Strike 2 called. Caught her on that off-speed pitch. Goodness gracious. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Actually, it was foul tip to the catcher, and that is the 8th strikeout for Springer. Ball outside to the batter, Bonet. Callie Bonet looks at strike 2, strike 1 rather. Well, there's the 1-1 delivery. That's going to go to second base. Oh, out into center field, and reaching first is Bonet. So with 1 out, Bonet at first. They're going to send a pinch runner, I'm certain of that. Probably McGee, and there it is. It will be McGee. So courtesy runner for Bonet, and Madeline Payne, the pitcher, will step in. There's a pitch, ball one low. There's a pitch fouled third base side. Madeline Payne grounded to short for the first out in the second inning. One ball, one strike, one out, one on. That one is hit to left field. That's going to get in the hole, and scooped up is Brooklyn King, and runners now at first and second with one out. And that's going to bring up Melody Morris. She struck out in the second inning for the second out. Melody Morris in the batter's box, and swing and a miss, strike one. That was a hard cut, just didn't catch up to it. There's the 0-1, popped up, straight up. Going over and calling it off is Athena Bach. She makes the catch, and that's the second out. Would that have been the infield fly rule? Okay. So that's two outs now with runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up number 18, Hallie Patton. Patton struck out in the second inning. And that one swung on and missed. Strike one. That one is grounded to third, picked up by Garner. She kicks the bag, and that will end the inning. So no runs on two hits and two left as we go to the middle of the fourth. Dyer County still leads it 2-0. Laura Beth Enix, who walked in the second inning, will lead off. Peyton Reasons struck out in the second. She'll be batting next, and followed by Brooklyn King. And if any of those get on, it'll be Emily Finley. Beth Enix, one of only 3 seniors on the Lady Choctaws team this year. Her and Athena Bach and Reagan Coleman are the 3 Dyer County seniors. could use a few insurance runs right here. Phoenix, Reasons, and King will be the three batters that will face Madeline Payne here in the bottom of the fourth.
Hey, that's my song. Hey, come on, LB.
Ball high to Laura Beth Phoenix. 1 ball, no strikes. And that one is foul to the first base side, out of play. 1-1.
Go, Laura Beth, right here, babe.
And that one fouled straight back. 1-2 the count on Laura Beth Phoenix.
I stared at it. Come on, Laura Beth. Really quiet. They need to be louder. Yeah. Get him.
Going to be ball high. That evens the count at 2 apiece. That one's way high, ball 3. Well, Beth Phoenix worked her for a walk last time, and she's well on her way this time. Madeline Payne's only walked 2 Dyer County hitters. Madison Garner and Laura Beth Phoenix. That one's fouled back. That was a high pitch. She is hitting herself in the head over that one. Oh, she says, shucks, why didn't I lay off that? That was helmet high. Phoenix will step back in. There's a delivery. That one is hit foul. Right over where they're grilling. Hope everybody's okay. And that one, too, is fouled back. She is working for ball 4 is what she looks like she's doing, but she's protecting the plate very well.
Hey, be smart on anything, Laura Beth. Hey, come on, LB. Hey, keep working out there. Keep working. Hey, come on, Sue.
Laura Beth Phoenix leading off here in the bottom of the 4th. Full count. There's the pitch, and that one's hit high. But coming in is the center fielder. It hits the ground, and that's going to be a single. Center fielder couldn't quite get there. So a leadoff single by Laura Beth Phoenix, and she's been on first base both of her times at the plate tonight. That's going to bring Peyton Reasons, who struck out in the second. She's getting some encouragement from Coach Phillips, and we'll head into the batter's box. Peyton Reason squares around a bunt and fouls it straight back. Strike 1. Reasons in the batter's box. Squares around the bunt again. It is low, and 1 ball, 1 strike. He had to get out of the way. Came in the batter's box. Reasons pulls back. Ball 2. Here comes the 2-1. And that one's bunted down first base side. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw on to first in time, but that's going to allow the runner to advance to second. So the sacrifice works, and that's the first out. That advances Enix to second base, and it's going to bring up Brooklyn King. She struck out in the second. Dyer County's got a runner at second with 1 out. Brooklyn King at the plate. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Strike 2 call. There's the 0-2 delivery from Payne. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that is the 6th strikeout for Madeline Payne. And the second out, and now Coach O is going to make a change here. Coming up to the plate is Emily Edgen, and she is going to be batting for Emily Finley. So Emily Edgen will bat here in the bottom of the 4th. So Coach O makes a change here. Edgen takes ball 1. Edgen pops it straight up. Coming over is Jalen Cherry, and they missed it, and everybody's safe. Jalen Cherry and the shortstop were not communicating at all. And I'm surprised they didn't send her. Is that E5 or E6? E5 and a half? We'll call it a error on the third baseman, but not sure how they'll score it. But now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Zoe Springer at the plate. Here in the bottom of the 4th. An opportunity here on a miscue by the Hardin County infield, and Zoe takes a ball outside. Ball 1. Emily Finley is back in to run for Emily Edgen, so she will be a courtesy runner. That ball is called strike, and Emily Finley steals second base. So now runners at second and third. So now a base hit scores 2. There's the 1-1 delivery from Payne. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. And that one is fouled to the left side, and making the play is the third baseman. So Dyer County lets another opportunity slide by, and no runs on 1 hit and 2 left. And as we go to the top of the 5th, Dyer County still leads it 2-0. It's going to bring up Emily Geralds, Kaylee Channel, and back to the top of the lineup, Jalen Cherry. For the Lady Tigers. Still well within reach is this game for the Hardin County team. Behind to beat Brighton in the district. And then Brighton was eliminated by Munford. They were the top seed. They were the first team eliminated. Matter of fact, this Hardin County team beat Dyer County. The first time they played, they split in the regular season. Won 1 and lost 1. That over at Jackson State softball field. Standing in is Geralds. Springer receives the pitch from Coach O, and we're ready to play ball. That one's ball low and outside. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. That one is fouled to the right side near the visitors' dugout. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery, inside and low, ball 2. Jared struck out in the 3rd inning against Springer. And that one is hit back up the middle, and it'll get out into center field for a base hit. There's the 4th base hit surrendered by Zoe Springer. Oh, I think that's the 3rd hit. One reached on an error. I'm glad we have an official score. There's the bunt, scooped up by Springer. Throw on to first in time. That's going to be 1 out. But that does move the runner to second base. So that's going to bring up Jalen Cherry, who has already homered against Dyer County. And with one swing of the bat, she can tie it up. She homered off of Peyton Reasons in the first game at Munford High School 2 weeks ago Saturday. There's the first one, swung on and missed. Actually foul tipped. Jalen Cherry struck out in the first and singled in the third. There's a delivery, popped up. Going over to call it is Garner. She makes the play, and 2 outs now with a runner at second, and she has to hold at second as the fly was to third base. Strike one called. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 1 on at second base. It's going to be a ball outside, 1-1. And that one slapped back to Zoe Springer at the mound and throw on over to first, and that will retire the side. No runs on 1 hit and 1 left. And Dyer County will take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th. Athena Bach is going to lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Bach, Coleman, and Garner will be the meat of the order for Dyer County. So Athena Bach is going to bat from the right side of the plate this time. Bach takes the ball outside. There's a 1-0 delivery from Payne. High, ball 2. Bach, Reagan Coleman, and Madison Garner will be the 3 batters due up here in the 5th. Bach's 0-2 is way high, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. And they're going to call that one strike 1. There's a 3-1 shot to short. It is caught. And that's going to be the first out in the 5th. It's going to bring up Reagan Coleman. I mentioned earlier, one of 3 seniors that will be graduating this Friday night. But we hope they won't be through playing baseball, or softball rather. Strike 1 called to Coleman. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And there's swing and a miss, strike 3. It's now the 7th strikeout for Madeline Payne and the 2nd out for Dyer County here in the bottom of the 5th. It's going to bring up Madison Garner. She has homered and walked in this game. She's been a tough out for Madeline Payne tonight. And time is called as Payne takes too long. And there's the delivery. Strike 1 called.
Hey, not you, not you. Hey, got it, Madison. Hey, come on, Madison.
Ball outside. That evens the count at 1-1. And that one slapped up the center field. That's going to roll possibly all the way to the fence. It does. And Madison Garner at second. They're going to wave her on to third. And she's going to be in safely with a stand-up triple. So she has walked, homered, and now tripled. And that's going to extend the inning for Haley Sipes. She struck out in the first and flied out to Jalen Cherry at third in the third. Great opportunity here for Dyer County to get an insurance run. They've let a couple of opportunities in previous innings slip through the cracks, and this would be a golden opportunity right here. And that one is fouled back. Catcher goes back, makes the play, and that'll end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 left as we go to the top of the 6th. Dyer County still leads it 2-0. It's going to bring Faith Welch, Carly Bonet, and Madeline Payne to the plate. Right in the meat of the order, Faith Welch, the third hitter, Bonet, the cleanup hitter, and then Payne, the fifth hitter. So right in the meat of the order that Zoe Springer is going to need to retire tonight. Faith Welch has struck out twice, once in the first and then in the fourth. And Bonet struck out in the first and singled in the fourth. And finally, Madeline Payne grounded to Laura Beth Enix at short and then singled, or in the second, and then singled in the fourth. Here we go with a slim 2-run lead and 6 outs to get. First pitch, ball outside, ball 1. Faith Welch is the left fielder for the Lady Tigers. There's a delivery, swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1-1. That one is hit back up the middle, and it's going to make its way through the seeing eye ground ball to Peyton Reasons at center field, and they're going to hold her to a single to lead off the top of the 6th. So with Welch at first, that's going to bring Bonet to the plate. Callie Bonet. She has singled and struck out tonight. We've got a courtesy runner coming back in. That will be McGee. There's a delivery, ball low. 1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Bonet. That one is fouled back, evens the count at 1-1. Springer delivers the 1-1, swung on and missed, way out in front of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. That is the first strikeout for Springer since the 4th inning, but it is the 9th on the night. And the first out, and that's going to bring Madeline Payne. She grounded to short in the 2nd and singled in the 4th. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Drew her into swinging at high heat right there. Runner at first. It is Sarah McGee who is pinch running for the catcher, Bonet. That one swung on and missed, strike 2. There's the 0-2 pitch from Springer. Fouled back. Count is 0-2. There's a delivery, strike three, swinging. That is the 10th strikeout for Zoe Springer. And the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up number 14. That is Melody Morris. First pitch, called strike one. And that one's grounded to third, picked up by Garner, throw to first in time. And after giving up a single, Zoe Springer retires 3 in a row. And that's going to put Dyer County's Laura Beth Enix, Peyton Reasons, and Brooklyn King to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. And if any of them get on, it'll be Emily Edgen. Laura Beth Enix walked in the 2nd inning and singled in the 4th. Well, you just don't know how hard it is to beat a team 4 times in 1 year. And if Dyer County wins, they will have beaten Hardin County not only 4 times this year, but 3 in a row. Which is even harder to do. Dyer County ended the season with their 4th victory over Munford in the district tournament. Dyer County is no stranger to beating teams 4 times, but it's very hard to do. Very hard to do. Laura Beth Enix will step in. She's walked and singled in this game. Postseason play, Laura Beth Enix batting .263. She has increased her on-base percentage as well this game here. Strike one called. And that one's hit hard to left field and going back. That one's going to get on. Laura Beth is rounding second, looking at third, but she'll hold up right there, and a leadoff double for Laura Beth Enix. So she's walked, singled, and now doubled. And Peyton Reasons is going to step in. She struck out in the 2nd inning and sacrificed Laura Beth to second base in the 4th inning with a bunt. So Reasons will step in. And there's a delivery, high ball. No, they call that a strike. There's the 0-1 pitch from Payne. Strike 2. Reason steps back in the box, awaiting the delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that is the 8th strikeout for Madeline Payne. And that's going to bring Brooklyn King to the plate. Brooklyn King has struck out her 2 times at the plate in the 2nd inning and then again in the 4th. She's getting some final instruction from Coach Phillips. Try to prevent that from happening again. First pitch is ball 1, and getting back to second is Laura Beth Enix. She hit a double hard to left to lead off the inning. And swung on and missed. King steps in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That is the 9th strikeout and the 2nd out. That's going to bring up Emily Finley. Will be back at the plate. And that one is bunted down the third base side, and will she beat it out? No. The throw is in time, and that's going to be the 3rd out. And now 3 more outs to get. Dyer County leads it. No runs on 1 hit and 1 left. Dyer County still leads it 2-0. Those 2 runs scored in the bottom of the 1st. Zoe Springer bunt single, and she scored on a sacrifice by Athena Bach, and then Madison Garner homered in the bottom of the 1st, and that's been about all the scoring for either team. Zoe Springer's got 3 more outs to get, and that means we will have a sub-state game for the first time. Now, this is the first time in Dyer County softball history that there has been a region game at this field, period. And then this is obviously the first time that there has been a regional championship game on this field. And just like that, if Dyer County holds on to win tonight, this will be the first sub-state game ever played at this field. So a lot of firsts for this young team, and what a great job they've done. It's going to be a great year for the retiring seniors. Reagan Coleman, Athena Bach, and Laura Beth Enix. Hallie Patton is going to step in to face Zoe Springer here in the top of the 7th. Patton pops it up. Going over and giving chase is Athena Bach. She makes the catch, and 1 pitch, 1 out. That's going to bring up Emily Geralds. She has struck out in the 3rd and singled in the 5th. And that one's ball way high. Ball 1. Zoe held on to that one a little too long. 1-0 pitch from Springer, and swung on and missed. Strike one. There's the 1-1 pitch. Strike two. There's the 1-2 pitch. It is popped up and out of play. Swung on and missed. Strike three. That's the 11th strikeout for Springer. And the second out of the inning. Just one out away. And that's going to bring up the bottom of the order. That is Haley Channel. She struck out in the third and sacrificed in the fifth to get Emily Geralds to second base. First pitch swung on and missed. Strike one. Got her with high heat. And that one is fouled back. 0-2. There's the 0-2 pitch to Channel. It is low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tip, caught, and that will end this ball game. And Dyer County, with the 12th strikeout, will win this game and host their first ever sub-state game here at Choctaw Field, and Dyer County won it, and that is the second shutout in a row by Zoe Springer of the Tigers of Hardin County, and it happened. Dyer County got on them quick. They scored, Zoe Springer scored in the bottom of the first, and then a home run by Madison Garner, which actually was a run that wasn't even needed, but nonetheless, it was 2-0 was the final score. Zoe Springer finishes the night with 12 Ks. She, let's see, walked. I don't see anybody. No, I don't see any walks that she had. So another complete game shutout for Zoe Springer. And, of course, an excellent pitching matchup by Madeline Payne. She ended up finishing the night with 9 strikeouts. Just had a bit of trouble in the first inning, giving up the 2 runs, but then was able to shut Dyer County out for the rest of the game. Dyer County, of course, will be playing in the sub-state game. We are not sure when that game will be, but you can watch Facebook. You can watch Dyer County Choctaw Sports Facebook page, and you will be able to see when this game will be coming up. Once again, your final score, Dyer County wins it. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for Hardin County. Dyer County wins it 2-0. For David Bach and all of the people involved, this is Chuck Asa saying good night, everyone.